Ha! It's Wednesday. Whiny Wednesday. Not like alcohol whiny, just whinish. Hold on a minute. I turn on my lights. So tonight is sort of exciting. My subscribers have been asking this little stuff. Are you done drinking? No. Hold on. We have a special guest on tonight. Angela Thatcher, Lifelong Health and Wellness, joining. Look at there.
Hi, I remembered how to do it.
I know, I'm so impressed. I tried to invite you, but I couldn't find the darn, I couldn't. It's a struggle.
It be like that sometimes.
Yes, so you sent me a super funny message today.
I did?
Yes, because I have been talking about, I've been a patient of Angela's for, look, I have a new subscriber. I've been a patient of Angela's for over a year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was starting this new medicine, and I was talking about it on a video, and the medicine is called Qsymia. So Angela gets all these messages from my followers, and they're like, what medicine is she taking? I can't tell you that because it's, FERPA or FIPA or HIPAA or HOOPA or
one of those things.
And like, she doesn't know how to spell it. How are we going to? That was really good. So Qsymia is what I'm going to start taking, but we're waiting on the insurance, right? Approved.
I think you had a message to look at.
Oh, does that mean I got it or not? Well, it's my health. Aren't I allowed to share?
Yes, you should check your messages.
I can't check them. I'm on the phone talking to you. Well, yeah, so Angela, I've been seeing for about a year and a half, and I'm sort of in a low point right now because I took Saxenda, then I switched to Wegovy, and now I want to switch to something else.
Why did you want to switch to something else?
The Wegovy, I think I didn't really have any side effects of Saxenda. And I think I thought, the Saxenda's not working because I had stopped kind of losing weight. But then with the Wegovy, I don't know if I really made much more progress on that, and it made me feel more tired.
I gotcha.
I think.
Sorry, I got distracted by a comment.
Oh, it's very hard to not get distracted by comments because people love to make.
It's a good thing most of the time.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yes, it is. So anyway, so I am trying to get that figured out. But Angela has a lot of patients. You are full, totally full, correct?
I have a wait list now because I kind of need to be able to have room in order to bring in new people. So as people are kind of graduating and not needing to see me as often, they're doing more maintenance, then I have room to bring in somebody else on the schedule.
Which is a good problem to have.
It is. I hate making people wait. I don't like that part, but I also don't want to get to the point where I'm not able to take care of people the way that I need to.
Yeah, which is important.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to start Qsymia, but this Mounjaro, tell us a little bit about this Mounjaro business.
The Mounjaro is the generic name for that is tirzepatide. And Mounjaro is the FDA approved name for the diabetes version of that medicine. And so it's been out since last year.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people have been using it for both diabetes and weight loss. But it will have a brand name that'll come out probably either late this year or early next year, for that'll have like a weight loss indication. So
Bonus.
I don't know what the name will be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that will be good. And so Anne says she doesn't think I take it serious. You just want to lose weight and not do any of the work. Well, now that could be true.
Well, you got to keep it real, right?
Yes. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to look like Barbie but eat cheese fries for lunch?
I do not know of anything that'll achieve that one for you.
No, no, but the benefit of the Wegovy and Saxenda, which I would not be opposed to going back onto if I didn't like this other one, is that it really did change. It just changes the way you're just not hungry, or you don't think about food constantly,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice when you have been somebody that has always thought about food.
So that's because the medicines, so there's a kind of a group of them that are all in the same class. They work the same way,
Right.
and that includes like Saxenda and Wegovy and even Mounjaro. Um, it they work on leptin. So leptin is the hormone that tells our brains that we're satisfied, and so by kind of mimicking that hormone and making you more sensitive to that hormone, it makes it to where appetite is very different. And I think that's one thing that not everybody realizes is that appetite is very different for all of us. Some people truly don't know what it feels like to feel full or to feel like they don't need to eat anything else. And, you know, I mean, I've had patients tell me that, like, I don't know what that feels like. Or they find themselves like thinking about food all the time. You know, they're finishing one meal and already thinking about what's going to be the next thing. And that's not something that's a willpower issue or any of that. It could just be that their body, maybe they don't make enough leptin, or maybe they are leptin resistant, or they don't, you know, have the right receptors, or, you know, there can be all kinds of things that can cause a problem. But it's nice to have a medicine that can target that part.
Right. And do we have a way of testing leptin in people?
You can test leptin, but it's not always very helpful, because just because people have a high leptin level doesn't mean that it's that your body's using it well.
Mm. Mm. Well, one thing that came out this week was that Wegovy and Saxenda, it seems like helpful for addiction issues.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What's that research about?
I think that it's been noted in patients that are using the medicines in this, and it's called the GLP-1 agonist class. So that includes like Saxenda and Wegovy, as well as kind of the Ozempic and Mounjaro that are the brand names for diabetes. But a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people, when they take those medicines, notice that they don't have much desire for things like alcohol. Sometimes too, it's other things. Like I have a lot of people who say they don't really have much desire for coffee
That
after they take those. Mm-hmm.
coffee kind of tastes bad.
So I saw that UNC is actually recruiting right now for a study, and they're asking for people who there's certain qualifications, but if you know drink a certain amount or you smoke a certain amount, then they're doing a study related to that.
Well, you know, it's no secret that I quit smoking a year ago when I was
Mm-hmm.
starting all this stuff. And I took some Wellbutrin, which I'm not taking now. I just take my Zoloft now. But I wondered, like, boy, I wonder if that helped, because quitting smoking ain't easy. So,
Mm-mm.
what a great thing to know if that's really true, you know, and can help you. So somebody just said, don't you have to diet, eat right, and exercise to lose weight successfully? Talk to us about this. Talk to us about good health choices and exercise and how that works into this.
Well, yes. I mean, that's what we, should be doing because we're not really losing weight just for a number on the scale, right? It's more about health and, how we feel and what we want to be able to do. And a lot of us have different motivations when it comes to weight loss, but um, can you take some of the weight loss medicines and lose some weight without changing a whole lot? Some people can. But can you do a whole lot more and it will be more sustainable and you'll feel better and feel healthier if you also are getting your nutrition lined up and being physically active and sleeping enough? Yeah, I mean that those are the things that when they study, the the pieces that really make a difference in our health and in us being able to maintain our weight, it comes down to things like that, like eating real food and um, you know trying to get in the right kinds of food that your body needs, sleeping 7 hours at night, managing your stress, getting some movement in during your day. So it's not, we've talked about before that it's not as simple as like eat less and move more. That's not what I'm saying. That, that's kind of been what a lot of us have heard in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But but we should move more and we should eat good food. That's part of it.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's been a real struggle for me. And I don't, that's been a struggle for me. I think some of it is the sleep thing. I don't
Mm-hmm.
get great. Now I have this week. I also think when you like, to me, cigarettes were kind of my go-to for stress, work, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And cigarettes went away. It's like trying to figure out what to fill this space of of
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, and I don't up to my own.
Well, I mean, it's habits, right? Like there's things that triggered you, like when you did certain things or you were in certain places, you thought about having a cigarette because that was just what was associated in your brain.
Everything.
And
I called somebody, if after I got off a phone call with somebody. I mean, the whole day was broken up by smoking. Where now I'm like, well, crap, I don't even get anything accomplished. Why can't I? I should be getting more done now that I'm not smoking. I should be exercising.
you could.
I know. I should, but it's like I went and walked one day and was like, oh, now I felt so good. I
Mm-hmm.
had energy. I need to do that. And then think, but I do think not sleeping for me, not sleeping is a real problem. In fact, that I've kind of put that at the top of the list right now, the not sleeping. So we are doing things to get more sleep around here, which I'm hoping is helpful.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. I was really surprised when I was at a conference and they were going through the research because it's something I sleep well. I just don't go to bed when I should go to bed. Like I don't have trouble sleeping, but I don't sleep enough. And when you look at the data that we have on that, sleeping less than 7 hours at night, I mean, it does have some definite effects on weight, but on some other aspects of our health too. So I think it's worth working on. I'm trying to.
Yeah. And what you mean, 7 hours does not seem like very much.
Well, some people feel better with more. But some people, like I used to say that I was fine with less.
Mm-hmm.
And I can operate with less, but I guess I'm realizing that it's not good for me and that I should get enough sleep.
Yeah, so this week there's a little study going on. I'm working on my book proposal,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm home alone without husband and middle two children are on a mission trip.
Mm-hmm.
Our caregiver, younger son at the beach, and my oldest son is at Boise State. So I have been working like I hadn't even been outside, just writing, working.
Mm-hmm.
And why was I telling you that? Now I can't even remember. Oh, sleep.
Was
So I'm sleeping alone.
uh-huh.
So there's no problem. You know, I am sleeping. And
Mm-hmm.
last night I was asleep by 11 and
Mm-hmm.
woke up at 7. So I've been sleeping about 8 hours, not waking up in the night,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like sort of telling about how much sleep I really need, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's cool that you've been able to. Do you feel like totally different as far as how your energy level is?
I feel rested.
Yeah.
I do not feel like I need a nap. I don't I do feel rested. I mean, I was up and at 'em at 7:30 today, which I never am normally. You know, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I have alarms and do all sorts of stuff, but just wide awake. But
And all kinds of things can mess with sleep, right? Like sleep is often something that's affected when we go through menopause.
mhm,
You know, you have an issue where you're a caregiver and your responsibilities and Amos are kind of what wake you up
right,
during the night. That happens for a lot of people when they're in a caregiving position where they have to kind of when their sleep is interrupted by that. Sometimes there's dogs or other pets or they
right.
work third shift or there can be all kinds of different issues and some people will say like I've never been a good sleeper.
Tell us about everybody always wants to talk about intermittent fasting,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to get. I thought I was doing intermittent fasting,
Mm-hmm.
but evidently I wasn't, because if you put cream in your coffee, you're not.
Right. Can you give me 1 second? I think I have a children that needs something. Hold on. Were you waiting for me? Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. My keys are in my purse. I have two people that drive now.
Do they have their own cars?
No. So we are a family of four drivers with three cars. So that means that
We
we're
share.
sharing.
Mhm. Yes.
But my youngest loves to drive so much that she will wake up to drive me to work if I will let her have my car during the day. Yep.
Well, that's good for you
Yeah.
too.
It worked out. Today she drove me to work. And then I was like, oh, I also need to get my car inspected. So she was like, I'll do that too. So she took my car to get inspected. So it worked out really well.
This
Sorry, we were talking about intermittent fasting. I'm sorry that I interrupted you.
That is awesome. So we have one teenage driver, and he had a car
Mm-hmm.
wrecked it, so now he has no car. So we have a golf cart. So we have two cars and a golf cart, and
Gotcha.
we're about to have a driver. So it'll be very interesting to see. And we have several bikes. But Angela used to live in Edenton, and in Edenton, you can pretty much get everywhere
Yeah. I would go like
on
a
a.
week or more without ever driving my car because you could just walk everywhere. It was great. I
If I'm
missed that part.
allowed to that darn middle school, which is like 30 minutes away, I can go everywhere in a golf cart. I can go to the grocery store in the golf cart. I don't get.
I don't think I ever would have tried that, but I
Oh,
did think about riding my bicycle one day.
oh, oh, well, you could do that. I hadn't done that. See, my are differently. I think of variety of activity. Um, Talk to us about intermittent fasting and what that means, the health benefits.
Okay. So intermittent fasting refers to having a period of time where you're not eating or drinking anything that contains calories. And the reasoning behind that is if you are not eating or drinking anything that contains calories, then you're not having an increase in your blood sugar and your body doesn't have to make insulin. And so you kind of get a break from that and, a break from that just sort of process of digesting. And there are people that do this by a time window. So, they might say, well, like I only eat from, this time to this time. And it varies person to person in terms of, if it's 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever. But then during that other time, they're not eating anything at all. And if they're drinking things, it's going to be like black coffee or, plain tea or water, the things that don't have calories. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Um, And it's not the magic solution for everyone. There are some people that it's especially helpful for, and then some people where it's not a great fit. So there's good information out there on it. I would say if you were looking for more info, the Obesity Code is a book that talks a lot about fasting, and that's a good resource that is like good information and not, crap, because there's a lot of crap out there.
Not crap. That should be what your book is called. Write a book. Not,
This is not crap.
Can you?
Did that answer your question? I know, like, we can get way down in the
No.
weeds on intermittent fasting, but trying at a high
Well,
level.
and so Mike has said, is Diet Mountain Dew okay during intermittent fasting?
So, technically speaking, probably, but we are seeing that artificial sweeteners can cause people issues with insulin resistance. And so what I've kind of told people is if you want to try it, that's fine. I think you'll know if it's, getting in your way or not, and then you can try doing something different. The other way that people sometimes fast is to do like a more of an extended fast. Like maybe they only fast 1 or 2 days a week, but they go 24 hours, or something like that. So not everybody does the like the time window, if that makes sense. If you are doing the time window, the evidence shows that the you really get the best benefit when you get to about 16 hours of fasting.
16.
Mm-hmm. But that means you have 8 hours where you're
8
eating.
hours. I'm just doing the math in my head.
Mm-hmm.
10 to 6, 12 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
This is when it would be helpful if you could sleep like 14 hours. Because then you wouldn't be awake. If you could sleep, you wouldn't need too much. Diet Pepsi is your drink. I will say, these are things that I'm not doing that I need to do. But I just can't figure out how to make myself. I think I need like somebody in here, like hitting me with a pencil saying, drink that water right now. Go walk for 45 minutes. Is there somebody that does that? Like you, there should be a business where you just hire someone that you can't fire. Like I would be like,
you can't fire.
yeah, like I'm paying you up front and I need you to come.
I bet one of your followers would be glad to volunteer.
But not them. No, those people are on me like white on rice. Pay Blair to do it. That would be good.
Say, if you told one of your kids, do you think she would stay on you about it?
Yeah. Because the other day, I shouldn't tell this, but I'm at least truthful. I was at the McDonald's getting Bojangles, and I was like, I'll have a large coffee with 5 creams and 5 sugar. And my 17-year-old about had a heart attack. He was that is so horrible. I was like, I have cut back from 10 creams and 10 sugar.
10?
It was, this is embarrassing. Like, you shouldn't tell anybody this. I was like, I'm just being honest. I'm trying.
You are being honest. And I I think
also I'm the only patient that she's ever talked to that like ate candy throughout the appointment. Wasn't that true?
Yes, that is true.
This I've had this in my desk drawer since Christmas. Let's see how.
So
This
I
has
think
20 sizes.
That's 20 servings.
Yeah, 600 calories in this thing right here. Ooh. I mean, I didn't know candy had calories. I thought you were interested in fat.
Well, that's like, so our generation, we kind of grew up during the time when like fat was evil, right? Everything was low fat, low fat, low fat.
Got some fat-free cottage cheese, fat-free cheese, and you just ate a bunch of it. What was even in it?
Well, and a lot of it, they added sugar, to make it taste better if they took the fat out. So I think, that was a time where we as a country were eating probably started eating lots and lots more sugar. And but I think we've come to understand now that I think sugar is a much bigger issue than fat. We need some fat in our life, preferably healthy fats. But doing like a super low fat diet is not usually a good thing for most people.
No. Well, I'm trying not to do that because uh,
So do you think if you like put some thought into why you wanted to do it, that would help you out on the motivation side of things?
why I want to do what?
Like why you want to like there you had a reason to quit smoking. And
Yes, I
it
do.
was it was a good enough reason that you like stuck with it. That wasn't easy.
Well, I mainly quit smoking because I have a tiny bit of pride. Because I thought if I get cancer, everybody's going to be like, oh, it's her fault. See, I mean, I can't feel bad for her. So I was like, I can't do anything that is, and my children were driving me bananas about it. So I sort of had to quit. But I didn't, and COVID was happening. I mean, these were scary things. I think my problem is I got down to well, you said I was down to 155. And now I'm up to 163, 66. But I oh gosh, now my son wants me to come onto Facebook to go to live stream voice date. But I think the problem is I lost just enough weight that I felt like I looked better and felt better. And then I get lazy.
I think a lot of people hit that little place.
They I,
Because it's like, you know, you lose enough that you like can tell and people can tell,
mm-hmm,
and then that makes you feel better.
mm-hmm.
And then the little game you play in your brain is you're like, well, I did this, so I can take a little break and I'll be able to just do what I need to do next week, you know? And then sometimes it just gets really hard to get back on track.
You're reading my brain. It's true. And I'm aware of it. But I don't know if it's helping me any. So for me, I'm like, well, maybe if I start just doing new medicine, like I just need a reset of some type. Um, so I don't know. Anyway.
Well, I mean, it'll we have a lot of different options when it comes to we have more, I shouldn't say a lot. We have more options than we used to have when it comes to having some tools that can help us address and help people um, when they're, you know, wanting to lose weight, but they're struggling with some particular things, you know, like some people have a harder time with emotional eating and stress eating, or some people are having a harder time because they're insulin resistant and we might need to address that. Or um, some people it's an appetite thing, you know, in terms of it's hard to not have some support, you know, with their appetite. And it used to be that we just had like stimulants like phentermine that most people have heard of. But now there are other options, and there's even more that'll be coming down the road when you kind of look at what's being studied right now. So that's exciting to see that we're doing a better job of understanding why we gain, you know, why we have trouble with gaining weight to begin with, and you know, as a result, what can we can do to help to you know to lose weight and to maintain it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe maybe I could do videos while I walk, but I'd have to get some sort of like headpiece with my phone hanging from my head.
Well, do you know, I have some patients that's how they exercise is they watch you on video while they're on the treadmill.
Oh, they do it on the treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
But if I did it like this, look,
Does that work?
it might work, but there would be a lot of bouncing, which would be annoying.
You could get one of the children to ride beside you in the golf cart and point the phone at you.
Now, I could do that. Blair is dying to drive, but she's if you don't think that that would be a
You could like
you don't go back.
you could rig it up to the golf cart somehow, and
And then I could pay her like $5 an hour.
That would be interesting. You could start like Adrienne's Walking Club.
I bought a $15 some sort of exercise equipment that's downstairs now, like covered in, crap I threw in the garage that I really think, oh, I could use this. Okay. Well, that gives me a good place to start.
I think now, just pick, and this is the same advice I give most folks, like just pick one or two things. Like don't try to change everything Monday, but, pick one thing to work on. And, as we gradually have some success, you feel good about it. You have the motivation to try something else, and it builds over time,
Yes, it really does. Yeah, it really does. I know that. Yeah, I have some brain quirks.
Well, you have a little bit going on though, you got a lot going on.
Well, I do, but like this week I haven't had a thing going on, and you ain't seen me walk one inch. So I mean, I also am aware that I'm, just unmotivated.
So I don't know if this helps, but I walk in the morning, and I don't particularly love getting up early to do that a lot of days, but I feel better, and I am a better person. I manage my day better when I walk. And so doing that enough to kind of realize it is enough on the days, at most of the days, to be like, all right, I'm going to feel better once I go and start. I just need to go get started.
And
so sometimes if you just
what time do you
feel, like, I don't know, 5:45 or something like that.
So you got to really go to bed early then.
Yes, I should go to bed early.
That's why you're not getting your 7 hours, because you're up at the crack. Well, I could do that. I could try that. And I have friends, I think, that would love to walk in the morning. But
I think that's really helpful.
It's like saying to somebody with a 6-week-old, "Oh, come exercise." They're like, "Are you on crack? I can't exercise." But I could. But now that we're getting sleep somewhat under control,
I think that helps a lot, just to have somebody else that's going to show up. For one, you enjoy it more. The time goes by faster, but a lot of times we'll do things for other people that we won't do for ourselves. So you kind of get into that, well, if I don't go, then she's not going to go, or, she's going to be waiting on me. And if I don't show up, so sometimes we're better at that than we are at like, I should do this for myself,
Yeah. Kathy Maroney just said she walks at 10 a.m. I ain't walking at any 10 a.m. The other problem with exercise to me is it has to be early, because I don't want to spend, my friend Carrie Hirello is really good about exercising. I mean, she goes to the gym, she's on the treadmill, but I promise you, she's not done with her shower until like noon. Like I cannot, I want to be lickety split done by 8:20, 8:30. Like at 9, I don't even want to be sweating anymore.
I'm always amazed at the people that can go work out at night, because I do not have the discipline to do that. I'm so impressed when people can do that, because I am done. If it has not happened before I went to work, it is not going to happen.
My teenage boys go to the gym at like 10 at night. They love to go to the gym late at night. And my husband, when we were friends in college, I would be like at a bar having a beer, and you'd be like, "Where's T Wood?" And they'd be like, "Oh, it's 10 o'clock. He's running his 5 miles over at NC State."
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? He would go run, like leave the bar, go run, come back.
Wow. That's amazing.
I mean, yes. Well, then, well, thank you, Angela, for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I've missed out all of you guys.
Oh, well, we're going to have you come back on. I'm going to go check my messages.
All right.
It's like Christmas. Go follow Angela at Lifelong Health and Wellness.
Lifelong NC on Facebook and Instagram.
Lifelong NC Health and Wellness.
Well, So I call it Lifelong Health and Wellness, but on Facebook and Instagram, you can find it by just doing Lifelong NC.
Well, I just tagged Lifelong Health and Wellness. Did I not even tag the right page?
I don't know. We'll see in a minute.
Oh gosh. Okay. I struggle with that. I think we need to switch it. NC, or Angela, just Angela. Thank
Angela.
You. Always a pleasure. Y'all go check Lifelong NC, and she has all sorts of tips and videos on her Facebook and Instagram page. So go follow.
Confession, I've been kind of hiding on Facebook a little bit lately, but I'm working on getting back on track and being better about posting more.
Now you can give me advice about exercise. I can help you with this area. So that's good.
So I need you to, if you want me to text you and be like, "Did you drink your water?" Then I need you to be like, "You posted anything?"
Yes, I will. That's a great idea.
We'll be accountability buddies.
Okay, good. Perfect. That's good. I'm good at that. Okay. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.